Deathkind. Resignation, the end of Charlotte Yvonne Jennings-Miller. I give all of my children an emergency kit in case they ever need to visit the postmortal plane. I make it very clear what it's to be used for and have not had many issues with any Soulseers using the kit for fun. What's in the kit? Heroin. It's pretty easy to overdose, and that's exactly the point. Using it for recreation is not advised due to the possibility of it not working if they need it. Charlotte Yvonne Jennings-Miller was one who tried to abuse the kid. She tried and failed. From what I was told, she wanted to visit her deceased father. There was really no way for her to know how his trial went. I know he was her father, but that doesn't mean much. People keep secrets. Charlotte went to the Hall of Records to find out, but the angels of death on duty wouldn't take her to his story. Instead of coming back to life, like she was told, Charlotte attempted to stay on the post-mortal plane. She hid there for days until her body was found. I was living when I found out. Mortals are incredibly nosy and would be curious to know how she could be clinically dead for days and magically come back to life. I don't like scandal controversy of this type. I had a long talk with Charlotte to find out what she was really up to. That is when she asked about turning in her death pass. She was one of those soulseers who blamed herself for her mother's death. Her father never remarried and raised Charlotte alone. I did some research on John Jennings and found out some things that dear Charlotte would have been horrified to know. He wasn't a good, honest man at all. Charlotte almost ended up a teen mother. She had a fling and got pregnant at 17. How did that go? When she told the guy who knocked her up, he beat the hell out of her and she miscarried. Stand-up guy. Not. 3 years later, she married a decent man who was eager to have a family. Getting pregnant on purpose proved difficult for her. After years of trying, he left her for a more fertile woman. I'll admit that her life sucked, but I still don't think she put enough effort into trying to enjoy it. People can be so negative. They focus too much on the negative instead of trying to find joy in the little things. You might disagree, but I think she gave up too easily. I told dear Charlotte Yvonne to look for the Lady of Sorrow, and we'll go from there. Well, she looked, searched, and hunted for months before coming back to me. She was done. I told her, very reluctantly, how to turn her death pass in. She couldn't give it back to me, but had to give it to someone close to death. I invited her to join me on my next mission to mark a newborn. Thanks to modern medicine, my missions were few and far between. I never know when the call will come. I'll just be roaming around, minding my own business. Then I'll be sucked into a vortex and end up in a delivery room. There was no way I could stop to fetch Charlotte, so we had to improvise. I told her to visit the hospital at least once a day, in case an opportunity presented itself. It took a month for that opportunity to come. She arrived at the hospital around lunchtime, just as I was summoned. I had time to go grab her from the waiting room and told her to hide inside my robe. Nobody would see her while she was hidden. Things went just as I expected. Push, 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 and baby screams. Heart monitor goes haywire, and the nurses start panicking. Rest in peace, new mommy. Well, that's how it would have gone had Charlotte not been there. She moved forward to the mommy and placed the woman's hand on her mark. The sickle-shaped mark was on Charlotte's side around the rib cage. This mommy bounced back and lived to see her child. That baby missed out on being Deathkind, though. Pity. As you have probably guessed already, Charlotte killed herself as soon as she got home. Without the death pass, a bullet worked just fine. She was judged as neutral and would spend eternity wandering and wondering if she made the right choice. What about the woman who received the death pass? Is she Deathkind? No, it doesn't work like that. It saved her life once. It won't work again.